Okay, next one. How important would you say is it to cultivate a diverse skill set before entering the industry? I want to work in character concept art, but would learning editing be useful in any way? Marketing perhaps? Do people in the industry know much more and should know more than just what their job requires of them? That's interesting. Like how diverse your skill set should be.
Well, depends on what you want to do. I would 100% recommend that you make your expertise. If you are strong in render or character or environment, or if you are an artist, you should specialize. You're going to be much more stronger. You're going to be the tree guy, the vegetation guy.
The lamp guy.
We had a programmer at Ubisoft that specialized in water, and he was used...
love water.
He did water droplets in the guns of Ghost Recon when they gathered in holes.
But that's all he did?
Yes. When the water comes up and fills up the hole and then goes down. So that's someone who worked on it for an incredible advanced mathematics. So that guy was critical.
Yeah.
He was the water guy.
Yeah, where's the Red Dead Redemption horse testicle guy right now? Do you think he's okay?
I think he's doing fine. But long story short, if you want to be an expert, you should specialize. Find something online. Try to find something niche, and you're gonna get well paid and good jobs. If you decide to become a jack of all trades like myself, someone that does not know anything but has an opinion on everything,
well, you need some of those. You need some of those.
You need, yeah. You might end up finding some specializations down the path, but still operating on multiple job families like I did on writing and sound for a long time, writing and sound together. And then I added combat, writing, sound, combat, and then I let go of sound, and then I remember. So you can do that, but
you're a hoe, Cezar. You jump from one bed
to the other.
Yeah,
I like to jump.
You're a dev hoe.
Yeah, so it's more risky, but at the same time, you might end up in a place of coordination, like a content manager, a design manager, or a content director, but it's more difficult. And you're paid less than an expert. Experts are paid incredibly well.
Until they're not needed anymore, and then they let go quite quickly as well, probably. I mean, if you don't have water in your next game, the water guy, what's he gonna do?
Experts are queued for projects. Managers fight for experts. They fight for them. And when they decide to quit, because there is a company hiring all water guys in Europe so that they take all the code development for water, which happens right now, not for water, but for multiplayer, for example. And you have to work with them in order to access multiplayer expertise. You realize
This is a question that is very contemporary, I would say. What are your thoughts about this whole NFT crypto stuff leaking into video games? Do you think there's any usage of them and that couldn't be made without them? Or is it just a money-grabbing scam?
Okay, I'm not an expert, but NFT technology, the technology itself is very interesting because of the obvious reasons. Current proposals are dodgy. Current proposals on how to be inserted in game are, in my humble opinion, but to me it seems a hastily implementation. It's not very thoroughly thought. It's making money without actually enhancing the product. It's not about that. Right now it's about getting in on this golden river of speculation and people with money and their insatiable appetite to own things at exorbitant prices, and scammers, people that buy and resell. And some companies, they don't care, they just want the money. People say, yeah, if you're not interested, don't buy it. That's not a great approach either, because microtransactions serve the 2% of the game of the user base. That's the truth of it. That 1%, 2% makes the actual money.
It's insane.
All of them are plagued by, hey, buy this, you want 60.
Yeah, it affects everyone, even if you don't buy them. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so NFTs, I think, are here to stay, but they're gonna change. They're not gonna be serial numbers on helmets or necessarily metaverse you bought. So I don't know. But I'm old. Maybe I'm very out of date.
Is this something that has ever been discussed on your project at a higher level? Is NFT something interesting? Is this something that has been brought up in meetings and stuff in a serious way?
No, sir. We at Hexworks. This is our first project. This is our baby. We will do nothing to compromise it. I would kill because there's suggestions coming in. Hey, how about making it with cars? You drive your car in
GTA.
Salt like.
Lords of the Fallen online.
I'm joking, but for us, we want to be orthodox. We want to make something that it's true. We don't have the luxury of, you know what? Let's try to push this game semi-unfinished. People like Souls-likes. No, that would be the death of us. We need to land like Nadia Comaneci, you know? Perfect thing. And at Lords of the Fallen 3, NFTs. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh man, bro. Please, Cezar, get on stage on E3 2022, bro. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I need to see you on that stage. I would get naked on stream and get permabanned if you do that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see.
God,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Man.
E3 is dying.
Yeah, now that you say it, right, it's not even they just 2 weeks ago, a week ago, they just said E3 2022 will again not be an in-person event. Fuck.
We will see.
But come on, you could get in on something else and it'd be like,
then check this out.
welcome, creative director, Lords of the Fallen 2, Cezar, and then you walk in.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't want that.
Oh, come on.
No. I like fame. Okay, I don't make false. I like fame. I want to be celebrated. I want to enter Rome like Cezar with my face red,
And like heads
like
on
I'm Mars holding Vercingetorix from the chain. You know, I want that, but it will be disingenuous because I'll need to be up there with a lot of people and say, when I said that thing, let's do that sort of mechanic and that sort of gameplay, and I pushed a segment of development and we wasted time because of a bad idea with it. That guy stopped me. Let me introduce you to the guy who saved the project.
Cezar, if the buck stops with you, then you are responsible. In a way, everyone who works under you, these are your achievements because it's your job to greenlight or greenlight things. I mean, you don't want to hear it, but it's just that way. Like a boss, if your workers fuck up, it's on you because you're the one who hired them and it's your responsibility at the end of the day.
But I don't work alone.
No, I understand it's a team effort completely, but
I work with Saul. He's my executive producer, the money boss. He looks into my eye like the Terminator. He approves a lot of things. He comes with a lot of decisions, which I like. He's one of the most invested producers I've seen in my life, and I trust him with everything. It's a team thing. I know it sounds weird.
No,
and I don't want to be, but I would feel a bit remiss to take credit.
As a creative director, how do you choose to cut and keep content and keep the project in focus? Man, the stories you've told me that we can't talk about on stream about what content gets cut, it's like a dagger into the heart again and again and again, man. Because the crazy way that you taught me about cut content, it is that it's the most horrible and the most important part almost of the process. Because cutting all the, cutting off the extra weight that just doesn't fit and serve the vision makes the game a more focused experience is kind of what you taught me. But at the same time, some things are like blood, sweat, and tears went into these systems and they're being cut. It hurts people. It sucks. You hate to see it, but it's got to be done. So I think this is a great fucking question.
For Lords 2, we had the first Lords 1 as the scope. As an example, like we had a game that was 8 years ago, and of course we wanted to do more.
So
for us, it was quite simple. We take that scope, how many armors, how many bosses, how many mechanics, how many blah blah blah. I did the Excel sheet. Okay, we need to be in this ballpark, and then you add systems. But this time we cut so much, Anton. We cut. Why do you cut? You cut because even if I believe very strongly, big chunk of the team does not. And even if the mechanic is underdeveloped, if there is no faith in it, it's not gonna see the light of day. So no, there's no point of me making a t-shirt to that. So I cut it. A system of combat. We did some weird things where you grab the weapon, you do a lot of crazy shit. It created problems with our existing paradigms. We have to cut them. We had multiple options on Earth. Someone said, I don't know what to do in combat. We should focus it on melee, less on range. Those things went off the window very quickly. And then the workflow, all those things, boom, we put it to the side. We have much more important things to work on. So you cut things from 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is that they are ancillary to the focus, which for us is melee.
They water down the identity of the game. Is that a way you could say it?
Yes, it does not help. It really does not help. We had the mechanic of traversal, but it goes away from the world exploration. It gives you too much freedom. It literally felt like the layout became a bit inconsequential, how it was built, because we tried something else. So you cut them, remove them. You have to.
Ouch.
And then there is stuff that you get the reality check from the from
The higher ups, or
from the higher up, from the producers, from the management, that says, okay, you propose these things that has 2016 and extra animations. What's the priority on this? It's priority 2 or 3. Okay, we'll put it on the backlog. We try to finish what's important, and then if we have time, we will do that. You won't have time to do that. So you need to understand, if we cut this, what are the implications? Okay, let's move it. Let's cut it. You have to cut. You have to, because at the end of the game, the user does not get your vision. They just play a product, and if everything gels well, they're happy. It's not about your ambitions. It's about what they feel in hand.
Jackie Chan said something quite similar to what you just said. The average consumer goes into the movie theater, they go out and they know good or bad movie. You're not there at every theater telling the people, well, I actually envisioned this scene like that and it should be like this and this. You can't tell this to everybody who watches your movie or plays your game. The average consumer plays the game, good or bad, and then they move on. You're not there explaining, but this could have been this and this should have been that, But
this boils down in more. For instance, you have many enemies in the game, right? You have this one archetype that, goes in, grabs you by the neck, throws you down, casts an aura of something, multiplies, and you end up fighting a supreme duelist that you do not understand its thematic because it's too scattered. So you have to cut from certain aspect of it all for it to make more sense in the thematic, to be more memorable, to be less jack of all trades and more specialized. So you understand how you beat it and what you need to do in order to fail. We found out the hard way. We had too many enemies that were too complex and too good. It did not help the gameplay at all. As a player, the difference between frustration and motivation is understanding why you failed and what you need to achieve in order to win. If something is too complex and moves in all directions, you do not understand what are the weaknesses. So you have to sort of show weaknesses, show strengths, and understand that this AI, you should not dodge him backwards, backpedaling, because he has a massive lunge will defeat you. So you need to go sideways or footsies.
Such a brutal process, man. It's such a brutal process.
It is,
cutting.
because when you're putting that fantasy of that character, which is super cool, it's not just me monster. No, it's nuanced. You create it in such a way where it has different types of abilities. They are recorded, they are mocap implemented. Then you have to remove, uncheck them from Unreal and make it thinner, much thinner. And you have a lot of process. Yeah, but if we cut the back block, we don't have any back attack, and that creates, you have explanations on why you need those things, but you need to take a step back. And this is where us, our management, we go in. Bruh, stop it, bruh. Come here, bro. Come here, bro. I'm sorry. We have to remove this.
Shit.
Bruh.
Yeah. I bet the cutting board is full of tears and sweat and blood.
It is. We're all disappointed. But
it's tough,
when
man.
people play the game, people outside the company, they play the game, they say, oh, we love that. Oh, that's so good. And yes, the user lenses are different from ours. The important thing is the player experience. If it's immersive as F, it's super immersive and it feels right and it makes you smile while cowering with fear. Boom. That's all you need. You don't need a super complex AI.
How good is Lords of the Fallen 2 gonna be?
It's gonna be biblical, bro. It's gonna be biblical. Whomever we showed it, they lost their collective minds.
Bro,
and we
I'm so
showed
fucking
it to
hyped.
big people. Yeah, be
I
hyped.
can't wait. It's like long overdue because I didn't play the first one, but you know what would be fun if you're down for it? If I mean, it's still maybe far off. I don't know, but like once the game comes out and you find a free minute, which you're probably not gonna have, but you find a moment. You know what we should do? I play it live, and then you sort of like director's commentary, literally. I play through the first mission, and then you're like, you see that tree over there? That tree took us a week.
This is marketing territory.
Fuck it, why not? It's fun.
What marketing decides that our positioning and show, it's up to them.
We're flying under the radar, man. Flying under the radar.
It's up to them. This is why they're paid, and they have, it's their bread and butter.
Yeah.
My responsibilities are only to help shape it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's it. I'll never tell them what to do. This is another thing that some of the companies don't do. A lot of creative directors and executives, they go too hard on their micromanagement. And you need to have faith in your people. Maybe there is a design I don't like how it looks, and I tell what I don't like, but if 4 out of 6 people like it, it goes in, and I try to realign my lenses. You have to trust people in order to get inertia. You have to trust them, because if you don't, you'll end up with a lot of iteration back and forth. They change the design 60 times. It happened for us. It was very toxic, and it does for us. It's not a great setup because we're few, and the time is running short.
Man, that's. I'm so excited to see it. The stuff that you told me, man. Like, one reason I'm just happy to see it is it's like I will hold your baby, yeah? It's like your brainchild. I know it's a team effort, Cezar. I get it. You're humble, all right? I get it. But this is your game. You're the creative director, bro. In German, we say Schulterklopfen, like, Mom, I did it, motherfucker.
It is a very humbling experience because when you're penning the high levels and the levels and the NPCs, you draw upon your own fears and desires in a way. And you have to commit them. You have to commit to them. And I am incredibly grateful how other people took some strange ideas and make them real. It's incredibly humbling.
Do you have like a part of the game where you already right now think that you think this is just the most amazing part and you just can't wait to see people's reaction when they play it?
Yes. But at the same time, I discover new ones. I can't marry any of those. I mean, there's some areas that for me are just awe-inspiring. But so there's an enemy that I can't believe how well it turned out. We have enemies that we used incredibly difficult capturing systems. I had massive doubts for the stuff that I pushed, and early tests were very bad, but they kept working on it, and now it works so well. And so strange, weird locomotion. And I'm looking at it, and people are still working on that, many of them, to make it work. And it's great. They validated it. They made it. It's great stuff. Game development can be something very fulfilling and traumatizing at the same time.
I would honestly like to ask you a bit of a more personal question, because I know, and I tell this to the viewers right now as well before you came on. Like, I believe that you live and breathe video games. This is the art. This is you. You are this. And
pretty much.
I wanted to ask you, man, how is your personal life going, dude, Cezar? Do you have any time for yourself or doing something else? Yeah?
But I'm distant. I'm always thinking about not Lords, but stuff. Dungeons & Dragons, other creations that I do. I run D&D. I'm a game master.
Does your brain ever shut down, Cezar? You gotta relax, man.
Sometimes I wake up in the night, I open Excel sheets and I just type in shit because I need. And it's weird things.
You can't go on like that forever, man.
For instance, an NPC comes over and wants you to notice him, her, buys a Coke, drinks of it, and leaves it on your desks and walks away. And that's a characterization moment, and I type it in an Excel sheet and I move on. And I end up with hundreds, thousands of entries. Stuff that I use in the game. Or this is not self-congratulatory, like, oh my god, look at this workaholic. I love doing this.
But you live it too much, Cezar, bro. You need a break.
There's no such thing, man. There's no such thing. What there is keen disappointment of achieving your own potential.
But what about a girlfriend, Cezar?
They're over there. Goes in, goes out. I'm not a family man. I'm not committed to these things. I cannot get married. I'm not interested in that. There are a lot of people who are. For me, it's something that it's nice, but I don't need it.
That's why I tell people that you are a visionary and you deserve a stage. Because you just are.
Yeah.
I'll just hammer this into your head until you believe it. No, but I truly, man, I just, the shit that the game industry still have to get from you, I'm just so excited for. Because, when we talked before on the 2 podcasts that we made, and you talked to me about your love and appreciation for the Souls-like genre and how you appreciate it, and I think at that point you have never worked on a Souls-like. I mean, at this point you are not just working on one, you are the creative director of a Souls-like. This is your contribution to the genre. This must be so incredibly humbling and sort of a dream come true. And I'm just so fucking happy for you, dude. And I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. Whatever it's worth, I'm fucking proud of you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, the Souls-like genre made us. We walk on Miyazaki's coattails. Not because it's safe to do Souls to do the Dark Souls paradigms because we go outside the envelope ourselves. But for all of us that we are in this core team working on the game, but Dark Souls changed us molecularly, and it's just a game, it's just one of the games that you download on Steam and play. But it's very strange how rooted we are in utter complete reverence to it. I cannot say enough what a privilege is to work on a AAA Souls-like.
Insane.
We will never be competitive. We will never dethrone Elden Ring. But maybe we can be Dark Souls 3.5.
I think that's already Elden Ring.
You cannot dance with titans. This is our first game. We built everything from scratch. We are quite happy how it shaped up, but we're still catching up, and we have ungodly amount of catching up to them.
There's an interesting question someone asked. Make of it what you will, Cezar. How manipulative are these large publishers like EA and Activision from the inside?
I don't know them. I haven't worked with them. But from my end, I'm not the guy to talk about these things because I'm just happy if I get a budget to do something. If I get a budget to do something I believe in, otherwise I won't do it. If I don't think I can pull it off, or pull it off. But if I can pull it off, I will take their money and I'll just try my best.
Yeah.
And if something happens, I get burned alongside other people.
So the last one is, given a choice between creating a new IP or work on an existing one, as a creative director, keeping the company's goals in mind, profitability, shareholders, etc., what would you prefer to work on? What's more interesting to you?
Well, existing IPs come with a lot of baggage, but also a foundation for success. Of course, if the IP has a success.
Existing fans.
Yeah, so you have to inherit the values of it all and expand it in the right direction, grow it. Like it happens with us, with Lords, it's the same concept. We cannot do whatever. It's not a game with conquistadors. Yeah, we have to make a sequel.
No cowboys.
But the new IP, of course, you can really stretch your muscles and your creativity. But at the same time, it has much higher chance to be cancelled, removed, or shaped by someone else because it's not an existing thing. I pitched a number of unique, completely new, fresh IPs where you have to work ungodly amount for world building, design, character. So you have to go very deep, and then they get burned. Sometimes you start to work on them, they get deleted. In the West, there are very few. I don't know many creative directors that are authors like that, unless they're crazy popular. Cliff Bleszinski, whatever, did 5 very successful games, can do whatever he
that guy's
wants.
insane. He retired and said, fuck it all. I did
Anyway,
it.
there are very few people like that. But for us, the safest way is to pick up a sequel than jumping headfirst in the new IP. It's much safer. If the game is small in scale, if you want to do an indie game, then maybe a new IP. But mostly if you take that path, most likely you're going to be involved financially. You're going to be part of the team. You're going to build a part of the team building. It's not going to be under the umbrella, under the shield of a big, safe corporation. But it can be. If you manage to reach a point where your product might be interested for other publishers to pick up, so you can get more money to develop it more. But it's a very arduous process where people lose their minds in the process. You don't see it, but the road to the mountain, it's littered with deserted campsites.
It's a nice way to put it. I know that I wanted that to be the last question, but someone's saying, what are the various scenarios of games going into a discount? Does slashing of prices harm the industry? Is that even a side of the whole thing that you're very interested in? Or do you leave that to the marketers and the accounting departments? Well,
I'm not. I'm not in the financial stuff, but slashing prices, it's part of the strategy that it's made from day one. That's kind of changed because people are projecting numbers. And when do you introduce it in bundles? When it's also, it's not an exact science, but it is part of the strategy. No slashing happens. That's not beneficial. It can be because the game failed to meet expectations and you have to do it sooner, but all slashes of budget of pricing is beneficial.
What was a recent game that came out and I think, 3 weeks after release it was like discounted so heavily? What was it? I forgot. It was a disaster.
Avengers?
Battlefield 2042. Yeah. Shit. Man, Cezar, thank you so much. This is
it's been a while.
It's always so good talking to you, and I just hope that you don't neglect yourself while diving fucking head first into the video games. Just take care of yourself, dude. Be happy.
I'm not a martyr. I do what I like. It's all good.
You live this shit.
It's heartwarming to see people caring, and I appreciate that tremendously. But if I die tomorrow, I'll die a happy man. 100%.
You know what? There's no better statement to make. I think that makes me happy that you said that. Cezar, you're a great guy. Do you have any last words maybe about the game or about any announcements soon, or you want to tickle people's balls for one last time about Lords of the Fallen 2 or?
No, that's marketing.
That's marketing. Leave the figures of that.
They need to put the glove on. But no, that's them. No, I miss you and Andy. I miss talking to you guys.
Yeah.
We need to get together. It's something, and you can tell me.
And also, this year I'm also diving like back into YouTube. This year I'm producing a video right now actually, and for some reason I have a good feeling about this year. So
I myself neglected YouTube as well when I started Lords, because it's not like I don't have time anymore, because we have time for everything. But now I need to recover more. I go to these gyms. We research combat there a lot. We record ourselves. So I end up editing. Still, I edit a ton of videos per week.
Can I tell you something cool?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I tell you something cool? Dude, do you know that NetherRealm invited me to mocap shit for Mortal Kombat? When I did my Shaolin video, and they thought I was American, and they offered to fly me in. And then when I told them I'm not in America, then they said like, sorry, can't happen. We can't handle that right now. That was like peak COVID, and
holy crap, that's amazing, bro.
Dude, I was like, oh my, like just being asked that, I was like, I made it.
That's fantastic.
I told Sophia like, oh my god, Sophia, NetherRealm, they sent me a mail. Like, oh my god, can you believe this shit? If I only get me doing a fart motion in Mortal Kombat, I feel like I made it.
Nah, it's not a big deal. Have you done any mocap work?
No,
have you
never,
strapped in the
never.
suit? It's an experience for sure. It's very hard, super hard. But a lot of the animations that you see there are touched. So the fact that you were able to pull them out like that raw, that was incredible.
But
beyond incredible.
Cezar, tell me that is somewhat a badge of honor, right? To be asked, just to be asked.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, it's
don't take this away from me.
Mortal Kombat means everything to me. It's one of those games that's deep at my core, and NetherRealm Studios are doing a banged up job. That would be a fantastic opportunity for you to do a little Kung Lao.
Yeah. Like honestly, at this point, I don't think I would do it for like a 1 hour mocap session, fly all the way to I don't know where they're at. I'm not ambitious enough to do that. I don't care enough. But just to be asked is like an honor.
Yes, I 100% agree.
I don't want to say bye, Cezar, but I'm tired and I have to go to sleep.
I'm gonna get the sword and destroy my cat.
Exactly. Dude, I'm excited. People in chat, Lords of the Fallen 2, keep your eyes peeled for whatever announcement or whatever is happening there soon. And keep Cezar in your hearts. And take care of yourself.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
No problem, brother. Anytime.
Take care.
See you, Cezar. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Ciao.
Oh, man. Wow, man. How did you get to know him? How did I get to know him? I think he just commented on one of my reviews, and then we emailed to each other, and then I asked him, bro, you in Paris? Come over, bro. Let's make a podcast. And that's all. That's how it happened. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe, you could sit back and just listen and have a good time. Be healthy, be happy, be nice, and shit like that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.